Hey guys, NS Productions 8104 here, and today, we're doing layout update number 17. So, we're going to start off here in the yard. Everything's pretty much the same, except this is now a number 4 switch, so it's no longer a snap, which means I can easily get trains in and out here without them derailing. In fact, I backed the big boy in here, and this is where it's been setting until I can build a designated shelf and then get a designated display case to go around it when I'm not running it. Runs great around the railroad. Another thing is, I was getting too many issues with my sectional track I had here, so I replaced it with some flex track I got from my local train club that we're being forced to move. So they had a bunch of flex track with aluminum tape on it, and I was able to get it off. They gave it to me because they're like, we're not going to use it. So I took the aluminum tape off, and now I got a nice chunk of flex track. So I did that. Replaced that there. Runs great now. It's like a silky smooth. It's like a baby's bottom. So smooth. Engines go around it, no problem, no more issues. Same stuff. We'll get back to those 4 things. We'll get back to that. So coming over to this general area, this is where the most progress has been made. I have successfully made this drop down. I got 2 simple door latches under. I just this and swing them out, pull back. I got one on that side, I got one on this side. You got all your connections here and everything like that. Just gotta disconnect it. Bingo bango, done. Here's another thing I did. I got rid of that terminal joiner because I'm having too many issues right here with the flex track line, the bend to that slight curve. So I did a 22-inch curve. So I just put a 22-inch curve right at the end of that. This is a number 4 switch. This is a new number 4 switch, actually. I just got some more number 4s, and this is a brand new one. This one's the nickel silver one. It's hooked up to the siding, so I can get stuff in and out of the siding again. So I did a number 22 curve directly to the number 4. Did another hole number 22. And did a partial 22 that matches up with this and this. And then took my Dremel and just went zzz, zzz, cut the rail there so I can drop it. That works. Here's an 18-inch, did the same thing, lined it up, put it in, lined it up. Zzz, zzz. Over here, this was pretty much done already, so I didn't have to do anything over here. Crossovers, everything works. Everything runs great. Another thing I did here is I took out all this sectional track, put in another piece of flex track. This is Bachmann flex track, by the way. All the flex track I got was Bachmann. So I put in a chunk of Bachmann flex track. If you guys remembered, if you'd look down this, it was all wheelie wonky. You'd go like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then go to the curve. Now it's a much smoother transition. This is maybe about a 24-inch, because I tried to match this up to a 22, and it wasn't a little too sharp. So this might be a 24. Right here, this little section is probably about a 24-inch, but trains run great, especially the steam engines. They love this now. They love just coming around and going right into the straightaway and not have to worry about that whole zigzagging pattern. The trains don't look weird. I don't have to worry about collisions here ever again. This switch has also been replaced. I put in a nickel silver one here. Got another one, put in a nickel silver switch. I can safely say all my switches now on the railroad are nickel silver and no more brass. And this is a nickel silver snap. Oh yeah, this works too. See? I can get cars on and off of here now. So that's good. And I was able to fix that. Yeah, now I can pull cars in and out because I can do this even with the drop. Even with this part coming down, I can still go in and out of this siding. So all my sidings are now operational. I'm thinking about adding, and I got more wood. We'll get back to that in a second. So I added more wood, and I want like a small place where I could put my MOW train. I got some MOW equipment. I got a crane here, which I'm gonna patch, which I'm gonna let her up for Norfolk Southern. So I got the crane. I got the 89-foot flat car I want to use. I've made a custom rail loads, and I got that tie load. I want to shove those over in a nice siding where I can have some MOW storage, because I just don't have enough there. I even want to, that's not even enough over there for storage for freight cars and stuff. So I want to maybe, because I got more 1x8s outside, so I'm thinking about maybe putting another 1x8 from here to here, similar to what I did there with the yard. Put it in here, have a switch come off here, and go into a 3-track. Have a small little loop track, maybe for, I don't know, maybe like a locomotive or a caboose or two. Maybe 2 cabooses in here. Just have a small little track where I can have a caboose or 2 sitting in there. And then 2 tracks. 1 for the crane and flat car. The other 2 for maybe one of the rail cars with railroad, with the rails and ties. And then having some ties off, or maybe even in the front, having some scenery details, make it look nice. And then that way I also have more places to switch. Okay, on to the new additions and everything else I've done in the past 4 months since the last update. So the newest, biggest thing, I built a whole new bookshelf. I built this shelf for specifically just for my models. As you see, I got my ships on top and I got trains on below. So, that's new. We're going to go off with locomotives, and then we'll go on the rolling stock. So obviously the one new thing we got is, well, the big boy. I did a review on it. It is my most viewed video at over 3,000 views. Thank you all of you guys who watched that and got that video over 3,000 views. That's actually bumped my channel up too, from 120 subscribers up to 134 as of today. Alright, on to new additions locomotive wise. There's 2 right there. I got these from Trains.com. That's trains with a Z. For use with DCC sound for $150 a pop. These are 2 Intermountains ES44s. The 2005 right in front of us is an ES44 AC. And the 2011 is an ES44 DC. These are the demonstrators for the Evolution series. 2011 is still around today. 2005 is, but it's been rebuilt into 2010. But there is a 2012 running around. So if anyone knows where 2012 come from, tell me in the comment section below, because I'm really curious on where 2012 came from. Because we know about 2005 was rebuilt into 2010, into the 2010, the Evolution Hybrid. So where did 2012 come from if 2011 is still hanging around? And 2012, I'm almost positive, is an AC model. So, yep. As you guys can see, the Proto 2000 Bert's back in the case. I got it. It's eccentric crank fix. It's not a pretty fix. It works, though. I'm thinking about maybe going down to my local hobby store and finding a screw that would look better in there and making it look a heck of a lot better, but I had to work with what I had. But, so, the Proto 2000 Bert is running again. Hopefully, eventually, I can find a donor Burke and I can redo the whole drive, because I also think my main gear is split. Because when I was fixing it, I noticed I had a crack in the one side of the gear sleeve, so I want to maybe get a new Burt, a new drivetrain, and maybe replace it, or just get a whole new Berkshire in general. Had to replace the wiring harness for the Paramar Cat. So I redid that. Runs okay. I'm still doing out the tweaks. My kit, my Bowser kit, K4's got a brand new motor in it. Runs like a charm. Everything down here is your DC. Everything down here is DC. Anything from this shelf up either is DCC equipped or is waiting for DCC. That's why I got my Bachmann Spectrum K4. It did have DC, then I stole the decoder for 3 projects. You will see those 3 projects here in a second. So I sold the decoder out of that. That had a Loke Sound Loke Pilot, which I'm going to get more of, probably here soon. I want to get 3 more. I'm going to put one back in that guy. I'm going to put one in that guy. My GP60M, and I think I'm going to put one in my River Rossi Red Box era Hudson. I think I'm going to do the Hudson next. And then obviously I got my World War II tanks. You got the You got the Kong's Tiger or the Tiger 2 or the Royal Tiger tank. You got the Panzerkampfwagen 6, the Tiger tank. You got your M26E1 Super Pershing. You got your M4A3E8 Sherman tank with the, I think it's a long 76 mil barrel. I can't remember the barrel diameter on that barrel, but it's a nice long barrel that could punch through the armor of those two tanks. That's why they put a big gun on that tank, so they can punch through the armor of those two. Well, and then the last but not least, we'll get to over here where I got some new locomotives. Proto 2000 E8s, a little bit out of my era, but there's a reason. So I have two New York Central E8s. This one is number 4076. And this one is 4040. These were Proto 2000. I bought these with Trains from Trains.com. That's Trains with a Z. That's becoming my new favorite used Trains website. I got both of these for $120. You heard me. Both of these locomotives I got for $120. It's a steal and a half. And they each have a Loksound Lokpilot decoder in them. So not only are they nice, they have a Lokpilot decoder and upgraded LEDs. This one's got an LED in the headlight and both number boards. No, this one is 4076. So this one's just got LEDs in the number boards. I have not done the headlight. That's because this is the trailing locomotive. 4040 here has the upgraded headlight and number boards. I will do the upgraded headlight to this eventually, but this was my priority because this is my leader. Underneath that, we go on to some projects, because this past week I've been out due to COVID protocol. My mother recently caught COVID, so I was out for over a week. So I was doing some projects. So I took all of my Santa Fe and Amtrak Athearn Blue Box passenger cars, got some silver spray paint from my hobby store, and have created a New York Central consist. I got 10 cars here. 2 dome cars are fictional, but the rest of the consist is prototypical to regular New York Central. This is based off of the 20th Century Limited because of the ribbing on the sides of the cars. I would do the 20th Century Limited, but they had the smooth-sided cars like the cars we're about to see right there. But those had the smooth-sided cars. These had the ridge, so I went off the Empire State Express. And then I had some old blue box cars, so I pinned it up in this nice central scheme. I did 4 cars like this. Here's number 2. Looks great. I love how these turned out. Here's 3. I even custom built all that on the end. And then here is number 4. So I got 4 cars that look like this. They look great. They run great. These are old Athearn Blue Box. So there's that. And then there's the 10-car train, like I speak. And I got two baggage cars, RPO cars, 4 coach cars, 2 dome cars, and an observation car. Each of them have been lettered with New York Central. I am currently working on numbering them. Let me find the one that I did number. It's this last one. Yeah, this car is numbered 2567. This side looks better. Yeah, 2567. And I made these all by doing some custom decals I made at home using decal paper and decal bonder. So there's that. And not too long after I purchased my pride of my fleet right there. Right there. Ooh, whoa, no. Yeah, after I purchased the big boy, I'm like, if I'm going to have a big boy, I need some UP cars. So here is a set of River Rossi Union Pacific passenger cars. I bought 7 of these for $150 on eBay. And they were a steal because, look, every car's got the interior and metal wheels for $150. 7 cars, $150, metal wheels and interiors in every car except for the baggage car because, well, it's the baggage car. I'm like, that's a steal. So I got those. So those run with the big boy now, and it looks amazing with these cars behind it. But the only thing is I can only run it on track 1. Well, recently, I just got my NS equipment back out. My 3 Pride and Service locomotives are in the tote because I took them to the Railway Museum over the weekend. It is now Tuesday. I took those Saturday. So, I got my NS stuff out. Got the 80 Mac leading the ACU, leading an SD70, leading the Dash 9, which I've installed front and rear walkway lights and engineer side walkway light. Now, go on to the hardest project, DCC project I have done. That is a Bachmann Plus Niagara, not a Spectrum or the new Bachmann. I don't even think they made those in the Spectrum range. But no, this is not the new releases of the Bachmann Niagaras. This is the Plus version. So it's the split frame design. Let me tell you, that was not an easy project. I had to mill down a portion of the frame. I had to cut out a portion of the frame where the motor meets the frame, where the motor contact the frame. Because if you don't cut that out, you can't get wires in there. So I had to cut that out, and not only that, but I actually was causing a short circuit the first time I did it. So I'm like, you know what, screw it. So I put a decoder in another engine. But then that engine I didn't feel like running anymore, and I wanted one of my Niagaras running because, you know, it's a Niagara. It's a pretty engine. I don't own a lot of New York Central equipment, so I wanted to run my Niagara, especially after I got the E8 and the Central train. That's when I did that project. I got those about 3 weeks ago. Did that over a week ago. Almost 2 weeks now. So it's a great look, and it runs great. Upgraded it with LEDs in the headlights. There's one 402 size LED in each side of that headlight. That is bright. It's got a ESU Lokpilot decoder in it. Had to run a wiring harness. It's literally just wires. And I put a washer on the bottom of the tender connection so the drawbar can't slip out. So that way it's a permanently coupled locomotive, and I transported it like that. So I did that, and that runs great. It's been running on my railroad. It's running a prototypical era freight train because these are the cars from my museum. We were having lots of issues with these cars. Coupler height, wheel gauge, and derailments. The big 3 things that we were having constant issues with. So all these are up to standard coupler height. All their wheel gauges are in gauge. And some of the cars had metal wheels, and they were so gummed up from dirt and crap on them, they were actually derailing. So I cleaned those off. So now they got a 26 car freight train that runs great and looks great. It's got a New York Central caboose on it. That's a Walthers kit. Got cars. You got almost every kind of manufactured cars here. You got Blue Box. You got Roundhouse. You got Bowser. There's a Tyco flat car in there I got to upgrade. They got AHM. Well, no, they don't have AHM. But they have Bachmann. They have Accurail. You can think of every kind of manufacturer who makes 1950s cars, and they got it on here. There's an Intermountain car on here. There's a Walthers car, a newer Walthers car on here. There's an Atlas car. There's nice cars here, and they run amazingly now. Then, those 4. Those, while I was stuck in COVID quarantine, I didn't get COVID, but I was still waiting on my test results. So I got some freight cart kits from Trains.com. Again, that's Trains with a Z. And I got those 4 kits for $30 from Trains.com. Those are all Proto 2000 kits. We got a Denver Rio Grande, a TLDX car, and 2 North American NAH X cars. Every car has a different road number. That was the first kit, so it works the worst. That was the last kit, and it works. First kit, last kit. Terrible, good, great, perfection. So, I will eventually get that car up to the rest of these standards, but because I didn't know where anything was, I did that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. some upcoming projects I have coming up is that's going to get a Tsunami 2 decoder in it. That is one of my next projects. That's going to get a new decoder in it before Christmas. That's going to get a sound decoder in before Christmas. The Pair Marquette's going to sound decoder in before Christmas. The Pair Marquette's getting a new decoder before Christmas. I know I said I might do the GP60, but now that I think about it, I think I'm going to do the NKP Burke. I think that'd run great with Loc Pilot. I'm getting Loc Pilots. Eventually, all these locomotives and stuff are going to get replaced with Loc sound. Because A, I like blowing the horn with the prime mover sounds mute. And also, I can do a lot more unique prime mover sounds. And not only that, but I can do unique horns for every locomotive. I know I said I love Tsunami 2. I still will buy Tsunami 2s. But I also would like to run some of these EMDs with my scale trains. And I can't get these... Atherns with the soundtracks to match with the scale trains very well. At least to what I can do. I haven't been able to. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do... Loc Sound or Loc Pilot, because those run good. Oh, the Santa Fe's got a decoder in it. This guy. It's got a 4-function decoder in it. That one's got a decoder in it now, too. The GG1's got a decoder back into it. This guy I'm working on, I try to put in a Digitrax decoder, but I got to try to make a way to fit. So, there's that. So, yeah. I have one that needs a new sound decoder. 3 engines that I want to put sound in, but only 2 might get done. Because those sound decoders are not cheap, and especially now with the new Blue Nami line. I'm not doing Blue Nami. I'm telling you guys that right now. I'm not doing Blue Nami. I'm going to stick with my Tsunami 2s. So, that's going to get a Tsunami 2. That's going to get a Tsunami 2. There's the Broadway Limited. I love that engine. I want to start custom making a train, the American Freedom Train for that. Even if it's only about 10 cars. I just want to make a small American Freedom Train consist. That's going to get a decoder. That eventually will get a decoder. But definitely... So, definitely the... Pair Marquette's going to get a sound decoder. So, that frees up a decoder. That's going to get a sound decoder. So, that frees up another decoder. So, I'll probably throw... that decoder into that engine, take the decoder out of that engine, throw it in that engine, so then that way I have more engines DCC'd. Those 4 Project Norfolk Southern locomotives I'll be working on here soon. I found a place where I can get some nice new motors to put into them, because I want to replace the blue box motors. Don't get me wrong, they're nice, but they're very loud. Same thing with that. That one's going to get a new decoder, and I think I'm going to strip it and do it all over again. That I'm going to try to... I've been trying to sell that. I'm definitely going to get rid of the SD40-2. Same thing with that and the B unit. I want to get rid of those 2 things. I don't run them. And not only that, but I'm waiting for the manufacturer to re-announce those with sound. I'm going to get all 4 of them with sound. So I'll also start collecting the passenger cars for that project too. I got my Scale Trains ES44s coming in here in the next couple weeks. I got my Dash 9s that should be coming in by November, but more than likely it'll get pushed off another couple months. So I'll have those coming in. I got 2 of those on order. I got 2 of the Heritage units on order. You'll have to figure out which 2. I already told you the one, but I have not told you the other one. Because I just did that a couple months ago. So you have to wait and see what's the other Heritage unit. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I picked up 4 more NS hoppers. So those eventually are going to get metal wheels because they're roundhouse kits, so they need metal wheels. Maybe that'd be the next project. I get the sound decoder and then get some wheels and then get the Tsunami 2 coder for that guy. And then I can actually take that decoder and throw it in one of my other engines just so it has DCC, hook up a speaker, and just call it like that. Especially if it's just going to be a trailer, like an engine that trails all the time. That I would love to have with lights, sound, and be a leader. That looks amazing and it runs amazing. Same thing with the DC. I am gonna be replacing that with a Tsunami 2 eventually too, because I definitely want that having a Tsunami 2. Lehigh Valley will eventually get upgraded too. Oh yeah, I gotta get a new... I gotta wait for a look program to come out so I can get a V5 for this, because this decoder officially and finally crapped out on me. So I'll have to get a new decoder for that. I'm going to get a V5 version so I can do all the lighting I ever want to those things. That's another reason why I want the V5, so I can do a whole bunch of lighting and not overload the boards. So I might strip this guy down, strip it down, super detail it up, get some new handrails, because you can get handrails for ENDs very easily. It's the GEs you can't find brass handrails for, brass stanchions. ENDs, you can get brass stanchions for days for them. GEs, not so much. So I might get some brass handrails and do that engine. Same thing with all of them. I know I can get brass handrails for all those guys. So yeah, just a couple projects. I want to do. New additions I've done. Projects I've gotten completed or still working on. I really do like the UP cars. They look great behind the big boy, and I mean great. Also, I picked up a coil car. Almost forgot about that. I picked up a coil car. I also custom made. I picked up a coil car. I also 4 months ago. Yeah, I also picked up 2 new hoppers right there. Down from Strasbourg. I went to Strasbourg. It was fun. Great. Had a blast. I picked up those 2. That's an Intermountain car. Looks great. Runs great. Bought it for $20. That's an Atlas car. Picked that up for $35 at the Strasbourg model shop down there, right next to Strasbourg. I made a custom car load. Let's pull it up real quick. So I took my Roundhouse car and I glued on this broken Proto 2000 car. These were connected to this, but they broke. I'll have to redo those. But yeah, no. So I hooked it up. So I canopy glued. I didn't super glue it. I used canopy glue so I can remove it if I wanted to onto that car. I also weathered the deck. I weathered the deck of my bulkhead. I also made a custom pipe load for that. I made another rail load. I kind of hinted at that earlier. But yeah, no, so that looks great. It runs great. It's now a heavy car. Because these Proto 2000 hoppers are heavy. I also love how they also come with metal wheels in the kits. So there's that. It runs great. My 4-engine lash up. Plenty of power for this train. But I would leave you guys... that's all. And I would leave you guys with some trains running, but... right now... I have some stuff I need to do before I can even run trains. So, catch you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Zoom in on that bad boy real quick. Oh, it looks great. Alright, catch you later, guys.